Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S Abroad. Thank you very, very much for joining today. Really do appreciate you joining today. And as you know, we always have our live sessions, and today is not going to be different. Today, we are going to be having our live session, and this live session is titled Canada Immigration for Workers in Agriculture and Agri-Food Occupations. So, as you know, it's the way we do it. Let me know where you are joining us from. Do you understand? Let me know your name and your location. I, for instance, am Aziz Shudir from Canada. Let us know your location. You understand? Where are you joining us from? Would really appreciate if you actually participate and let us know your location. So I am currently in Ontario, Canada, and I'm going to be your host basically for today. So let us know. We are starting live right now. This is exactly about um, in Nigeria that would be about 8 p.m. In Canada here we're about 2 p.m. right now. That's 6 hours difference. So let us know where you are joining us from, and we really appreciate to have you on board. Do you understand? And today we're going to be talking about the agricultural occupations in relation to our LinkedIn newsletter article that we wrote during the week. And for many of you that have been seeing or hearing a lot of updates about Canada, you know that things are changing, a lot of things are happening. Do you understand? And for people that are quite positive, or people that like to see the positive aspect of it, this is one time that a lot of people, in fact, I got to hear about the statistics, or let me say news about India, for instance, where they were saying over 35 travel agents have actually gone out of business because of the changes towards the immigration. And many people will feel that, okay, that is a sign that yes, Canada is actually closing its borders. But for those that are wise amongst us, this is a time that you see that there will be less competition towards the people that are coming to Canada. There will be less competition, and that means anywhere there is less competition, at the end of the day, for those that are wise, they can really get selected easily because a lot of people are going to be taking their eyes off of Canada. So if you are wise about it, this should be a time you actually cross your T's and dot your I's in order to get that selection, in order to actually come into Canada. Do you understand? So without wasting much of our time, let me know where you are joining us from, and I'm going to actually start up using our newsletter article to talk about what we have for today. So today, if you go on our LinkedIn account, especially on Relocation 360 by A.O.S, which is one newsletter article or one newsletter we always write every week. You know that we dropped this week, and in fact, it has a lot of things that those that are interested in Canada immigration would actually learn from immensely. So let's talk about it, and let's start up. Once you are joining, tell us your name and your location where you're joining us from, whether if you're on StreamYard for some of our clients, or if you are on YouTube for other people that are also joining on YouTube, because this is a session we're actually giving out to everyone. So, as it states here, it says the agriculture and agri-food sector is one of Canada's most essential industries, contributing significantly to the country's economy. For workers with skills in these fields, Canada offers several pathways to permanent residency. In this article, we will, and in this live session, we would also explore these active programs. We would explore provincial nominee streams that align with agricultural occupations. We'll talk about paused and cancelled programs. And additionally, we would give you actionable steps for immigrants planning to use these pathways. Now, this is very important. This aspect is very, very crucial. Okay, before we go there, go on, let's welcome those that have joined us. Welcome, Mrs. Latifat from Ikorodu, Lagos. Let us know you too if you are joining from anywhere you are actually joining us from. That will really help us to know that yes, we have people live, you understand, that are actually participating in these sessions. Okay, welcome, Mr. Chinedu Kasmir from Lagos, Nigeria. That's one of our clients as well. So, you know, this, I think, is it this month or last month? Yes, Canada also stated that it has closed, or at least based on the new policy we saw, they said that they have paused one agricultural occupation based program. And people were actually reaching out and saying, oh, okay, Canada is stopping people. Oh, people are not coming into Canada. In fact, some people that have paid for our trainings, for our packages, some of them have said, oh, Canada is over. It's over with Canada, basically. So a lot of people have been leaving. You understand? Some clients have been actually getting refunded, and many people have been laxing when it comes to actually working towards their immigration process. And it actually calls for concern, of course, because a lot of things are happening, a lot of news are coming out, and people are feeling, yes, this is the time that, okay, Canada is no more working, or people are no more relocating to Canada. And today I want to give you some ways you can see that some are closing, of course, some are being cancelled, but there are still some active programs for those who are serious amongst us that can actually take advantage of. So let's move on. The first program that we talk about is the Agri-Food Pilot Program, the AFIP. Now, this is a program that is a federal government based program in Canada and is aimed at addressing labor shortages in the Canada's agricultural and agri-food industry. Now, you have to understand something. When you are trying to come into Canada, you have to know that there are some programs that you will be qualified for. There are some you are not going to be qualified for, but that does not mean you cannot look at all other ways to come into Canada. Do you understand? There are still other ways you can come into Canada if truly you want to actually come and you don't want to give yourself excuses. Again, the newsletter article we are actually going through today is on that link that has been shared on the screen. So you can also check it yourself and follow through with what we are saying. Now, eligible occupations. What are the eligible occupations for Agri-Food Pilot Program? The program that targets one, the specific NOC codes. And some of these NOC codes are general farm workers, harvesting laborers, butchers, food processing laborers, and farm supervisors. Now, the requirement of this program is that you need to have a full-time non-seasonal job offer from a Canadian employer in an eligible occupation. Now, this particular requirement is one requirement that, of course, again, Canada has actually brought about different changes in it. In fact, a lot of people know that the LMIA now has really been ransacked because there are some bad actors, as Canada states it, that are actually exploiting the system of Canada. So they made it much more restricted to people that really need the job. They made it much more restricted for, as we said, some of the bad actors are actually selling these job offers. So now a lot of bad actors, just like I talked about the situation of the news I heard that they said 35% of travel agents are closing their doors in India. That's to show you that there are some people that at the end of the day would actually leave and avoid Canada for now because, again, Canada is actually targeting those set of people. Basically, they are targeting those set of bad actors. So, welcome, Mrs. Simbias from Abuja. We also have Mrs. Modupe joining from Abuja. So, just like I said, a lot of people are going to be shying away from Canada right now. And for those that really still want to come into Canada, this is a time that you can actually get selected because many people are not going to be focusing on Canada again, which is going to be a better opportunity for you to come in. So some of the requirements for you to come in through Agri-Food Pilot Program, or if you're already in, is through the job offer from a Canadian employer or through a minimum of 12 months of Canadian work experience in the same occupation. So if you are maybe like a butcher, for instance, or a farm supervisor, you can either get a job in Canada or come in, work in Canada for 12 months and have a Canadian language benchmark of under your IELTS or CELP or PT or any of those TEF or TCF French exams, get your band 4 or high school diploma or equivalent and settlement funds if applicable. So all these requirements, some people find it difficult to get. Some people find that, oh, well, it's not easy to get jobs in Canada. And yes, we know it is not easy. Or even coming into Canada as a student or coming into Canada as a temporary foreign worker is not easy. Yes, and that is why AFIP is not the only program that allows you to come into Canada as an agriculture, you understand, professional. But you can contact us today through the link on there to actually learn about how you can become much more qualified through the language programs. Now, moving on, some of the next steps, if you want to come through the AFIP, the first thing is for you as a worker to identify the eligible employers, because it's not all employers. That's another big mistake, big error many people make. They feel that anybody that owns a company in Canada can actually employ them. I, for instance, I own a company in Canada. Do you understand? I am registered on that Ontario Business Registry, but I cannot give people jobs that are valid, because if you notice, it's talked about a full-time non-seasonal job offer, is a valid job offer. You can't get that from a company like me. And that does not mean me I don't have a business in Canada, but it just means that I am not set for, you understand, employing people in Canada just yet. So what does that mean for you? You have to first of all identify the eligible employers. One, two, you have to ensure that the job offer meets the program requirements. Just like I said, a full-time job offer, the one that is not seasonal, and the one that is, you understand, eligible. And you have to apply for the pilot program before it concludes, because it's a pilot program, and once they say something is a pilot program, that means it is just available for maybe 1 or 2 years or 3 years at most before it actually stops. Do you understand? And these are things that always happen. Many people don't understand that there are some programs that are not here to stay. There are some programs that are not, many people always focus on the shining light, or you understand, the thing that glitters at that particular time, that, oh, people are already coming to Canada through this pathway. Okay, is this pathway I want to come to? But they fail to understand that there are some basic programs. There are some programs that would always be available anytime you come. And those are the ones, for instance, many of us at A.O.S abroad always tell our clients to focus on. Do you understand? But again, we have to tell you what are available. And some of the things that are available at the Agri-Food Pilot Program. Two, the second program that we'll talk about today is the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP. This is also similar, you understand, with the other program that we talked about at first. But the first one was a permanent program. This one, as the name implies, it is a temporary program. And this is a federal program that allows Canadian employers to hire foreign workers for temporary roles in agriculture. Now, note the difference. The first one I talked about required you to have a permanent job offer, right? But this one now requires you to have a temporary job offer. It's not compulsory you have a job offer that is full-time, or rather, sorry, that is non-seasonal. You can have jobs in this kind of program that it is not permanent yet, but at least with some opportunities, you can actually lead to getting permanent residence through other programs when you finally land in Canada. So that's one of the programs I'll talk about that a lot of people talk about. You understand that you can come to, and this one too requires you to get a job offer just like the first. Do you understand? And come into Canada through the work permit route. Do you understand? Through the work permit route. But that's the number two. The next one, which is the program that I always tell people, because this is the program that I came to, the provincial nominee programs. The provincial nominee programs are programs that can allow you to come into Canada permanently. But instead of fighting for the competitive programs under federal government, do you understand? You can focus on the provincial and territorial governments. Many people shy away from this. There are some PMPs that would allow you to get qualified for either coming as an agricultural worker, or just like me, I came in as a STEM occupation professional. I came in under IT. You can come in under IT, or even other programs, do you understand, that are available for provincial nominee, you understand, applicants. Now, these Canada's PMPs, the provincial nominee programs, enable provinces and territories to nominate workers based on regional labor market needs. Here are some PMPs aligned with agricultural occupations. And before I move on, I'll talk about what Olufemiloye, the Olu of Canada, actually said. For those of you that actually follow him online, he's one of the persons I also very well respect in the immigration niche. And he said that provincial nomination programs, PMPs, will remain the lucky charm for many candidates to become permanent residents in Canada in 2025. Many of these people, especially someone like Olu of Canada, has been in the immigration before me. I even came into Canada. So, and he's someone that is an influencer in the immigration sphere. some of the things he say, he doesn't just say it because he just wants to say it, but because he has been so long in the industry and he has understood what it means to come into Canada, what it means to become a permanent resident or a citizen, just like you understand his brother became a citizen not quite long. Do you understand? So if you want to have that lucky charm, if you want to have what it takes, because some people don't even some people don't even have that patience to even now understand PMPs. They don't have that patience. That's another thing that we are facing when it comes to immigrants. Immigrants feel that, okay, if I try PMP the first time or I try one particular route and it doesn't work, then I don't have luck again. Let me go and try something else. But they don't understand that there are some pathways, there are some things that you need to do in order to become qualified for PMPs. There are some things that you need to, you understand, there are some PMPs you need to focus on. It's not all PMPs you need to focus on. There are some central ones that you need to focus on. Now, for agriculture and agri-food workers, let's take the ones that you can focus on if you are in any of the agricultural occupation, you understand, and the industry. Now, things are rounding up, of course, in this year 2024. But for someone that wants to come into Canada, because yes, Canada is closing doors. Yes, Canada is actually bringing a lot of policies that are not favoring many people. Of course, I remember when we were working on our own immigration 2020. Do you understand? After the COVID period, even during the COVID, many of us that wanted to come into Canada, we weren't selected. Many of us, they were not focusing on us. They were focusing on people that were in Canada already, inside Canada already. Do you understand? So someone that asks that sees obstacles in many of these things will say, around that post-COVID time, that, oh, because they are not more picking people, let me focus on another country. In fact, there were many of my friends, it's not that even they say, there were many of my friends that went to US, some went to UK, some say, they cannot wait, they cannot do this. And it's many of them now that are reaching out to us, telling us that, okay, now they want to come to Canada, they are tired of UK, they are this, they are that. Because why? Many people don't realize that, see, change is bound to happen. Change is bound to happen. You can't see, it's something about life is not static. The most constant thing in life is change. Do you understand? And immigration is as dynamic. It's dynamic in Canada, it is dynamic in the UK, it's dynamic in every place you are. You understand? It would always keep changing. But you now have to decide yourself, where do you want to actually go? Do you want to go because of the crowd, or you want to actually go because this is where you want to actually set up your life? So it is time for you to prepare for 2025 if you are part of those that are thinking straight and want that opportunity to come into Canada eventually. Now, one of the PMPs you can focus on if you are under the agriculture, you understand, industry, is the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, SIMP. Now, many people again are in these PMPs, and the truth about it is, it's not everybody they will select. You have to understand it. It is not everybody they will select. They will select the best and the few that are willing to stay and, do you understand, are willing to actually get that nomination from the province. So SIMP offers a category for workers with experience in agriculture. The number one pilot is the hard to fill skills pilot, and this targets general farm workers and laborers in the food production, you understand, industry. So if you are a food processor, if you are a food supervisor, if you are even maybe like an attendant, do you understand, anything that deals with food production, a butcher, that kind of thing, you have that opportunity to actually come into Canada through SIMP. We also have the farm owner and operator category, and this one is specifically designed for individuals who wish to start or buy a farm in Saskatchewan. Now, there's another thing about it, another caveat to this thing. There are a lot of programs that they are pausing, that they are canceling. Do you understand? On the federal level. On the federal level, if you want to come into Canada, like the self-employed program that have been cancelled or have been paused for some time. You understand? The entrepreneur programs, there are some entrepreneur programs that have been paused as well or cancelled, but they're under the PMP. The farm owner and operator category is still available for those that can actually afford to actually come into Canada through that pathway. Do you understand? So if you are someone that you are thinking of starting something, and some of the provinces that we are even going to be talking about, they can give you land to start a business. They can give you funding to start a business. And you will come into Canada, become a permanent resident, and be able to stay here and actually start up your own business. For those who want to actually, it's not everybody that want to start businesses, of course. It's not everybody that want to own a farm. But if you have been owning a farm in your home country and you feel that you can continue owning that farm in the new country you are coming to, Canada, and you want to set up your life in Canada and be part of those that are actually providing food, you understand, for people in Canada, for Canadians, then of course this is a pathway that you can actually look into. Number two, the second PMP pathway is the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program. Of course, this program also is not for everybody. The AIMP is for selected few too, the people that are willing to actually come into Canada through PMPs. So the AIMP's rural renewal stream supports agricultural workers in rural Alberta communities. Applicants must have what? A job offer and a community endorsement to actually get. Now, every province has its own way of running PMPs. No two provinces have the same PMP pathways. They are always different. The fact that, okay, you see that one has a job offer does not mean another one will have a job offer. Like Saskatchewan now, it doesn't require you to have a job offer. Just either have your, you understand, experience under the farming occupation, or be willing to start a business. But better we say, okay, you need to have a job offer. So you have to look at, when I was coming into Canada too, I also faced all this. I was looking at a lot of programs, and I saw that, okay, out of the 80 plus programs that were available, you understand, I was just eligible to about four of them, to just four. Now, people that see obstacle will say, okay, I don't have a chance to actually get selected. But people that are wise, people that see that, yes, this is a way to now be creative and to see what you can actually benefit from the system. Do you understand? You would be willing to do more to actually become much more eligible and to get that what? To get that permanent resident status in Canada. So if you want to go into the province of Alberta, the rural renewal stream is a stream that you can actually look into. Number three, we have the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, the MPNP. If you are someone that wants to come into Manitoba, do you understand? The Manitoba's employer direct recruitment pathway targets workers in agri-food sectors who have a long-term job offer from a Canadian or from a Manitoba employer. Now, there are some provinces I do tell people that if you are coming into the province, they would require you. Some will not even say job offer. Some will say you should have someone there. Do you understand? In terms of families, members, close family members, or either distant relatives, or either close friends. Do you understand? That would actually support your application. Some will say you should have job offers like Manitoba, but there are still some other programs. As you see now, we are giving you different options. You can select out of the options. It's not compulsory to be eligible for all of them. It's not compulsory to, you understand, to be able to come into Canada through all the programs. If you are given all the programs, or you are eligible for all the programs, then other people will not get opportunity. Do you understand? But you have to be able to select the one that would give you that maximum choice or maximum opportunity to land in Canada. Number four, British Columbia Provincial Nominee Program, BCPMP. The BCPMP offers pathways under its skills immigration category for agri-food workers, particularly in rural and remote areas. Now, look at, if you notice something in all what we are saying, we're always talking about rural and remote areas most times when we are talking, because many people want to come to the big cities like where I am, Ontario. You understand? Toronto, people always want to go there. British Columbia, Vancouver, they always want to go to all those, you understand, big cities. But they don't know that there are opportunities abound as well in rural areas and remote areas. In fact, I do always say it that some rural areas and remote areas in Canada is far better than the advanced places, advanced cities in Nigeria and in other places abroad. Do you understand? So if you come into rural areas, that does not mean that, you understand, you'll be laid back. That does not mean that you not have opportunities. There's also opportunities in those places that you can actually look into. Now, those are some of the active programs under PMPs and all other programs we talked about. Let's now talk about the cancelled or concluded programs. Do you understand? Some of the cancelled programs, just like the news that we heard stating that the category-based agriculture and agri-food occupations. You understand? In order to be eligible, firstly, candidates must have accumulated within the past 3 years at least 6 months of full-time continuous work experience or an equal amount of part-time work experience in a single occupation in the agriculture sector, you understand, listed in the table below, either be it in Canada or abroad. Now, what that means is that you may be a farm supervisor, for instance, from Nigeria, and you want to come into Canada, and you come into Canada through the category-based agriculture and agri-food occupations, and you need to meet the requirements in that particular, you understand, round of invitation that they picked. And many people were getting selected, do you understand, through this agriculture and agri-food occupation category. But now it has been paused because as of November 26, 2024, an internal memo shared by an immigration lawyer from IRCC, you understand, stated three categories are cancelled. You understand? Three different categories are cancelled, including this particular agriculture and agri-food occupations. Now, according to the immigration lawyer Stephen Morens, he stated that July 2024 IRCC memo to the Deputy Minister of Immigration on increasing in Canada ITs. In fact, when I saw this memo, I quickly realized that this was something similar that happened around the COVID time and the pandemic time. Canada is now focusing more on people that are inside Canada. But I remember those times that they were focusing on people inside Canada, those were the same time they picked my cousin, you understand, who is currently in British Columbia right now, you understand, and already a permanent resident. It was those same time they picked me and my common law partner. Do you understand? Even though they were focusing on in Canada individuals, in Canada applicants, even though they were giving ITAs to people that are already in Canada as an international student, already in Canada as temporary foreign workers, and cancelling, just like they stated here, cancelling the remaining 2024 category-based draws for STEM occupations, for transport occupations, and for agriculture occupations. So if we look at it now, 2024 is gone already. This is December. Do you understand? 2025 is still yet to come, and you never know, because as things are changing, things can also change for the better in 2025. You never know what will happen, but the question is, how prepared are you before that time? How prepared are you to actually get selected in that 2025 that is coming? You understand? Now, they said this predates the creation of the 2025 to 2027 immigration levels plan. You understand? And it was the AITP note obtained by the immigration lawyer Stephen Moran that talked about how they cancelled out the STEM occupations, that's the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics occupation, the transport occupation, and the agriculture occupation for this year 2024. But 2025, they may actually bring up that category again. Now, number two, the other program that has been cancelled for the meantime is the Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program, is SAWP. This was a program that allowed people to come in, you understand, to actually work in the agricultural sector seasonally, maybe like during the winters, during the summers or during the spring. While not entirely cancelled, however, they said this program primarily focuses on temporary seasonal labor. Workers under SAWP often face barriers transitioning to permanent residence, and that's one of the reasons why we don't advise people to go through the pathway, because it may be quite difficult for you to quickly transition to permanent residence when you come in as a seasonal agriculture worker. But we also have some pilot programs in provinces, like some provinces like Nova Scotia and Ontario, that briefly piloted agriculture specific immigration streams that have since concluded. It has stopped, and these cancellations highlight the importance of staying up to date, you understand, on active programs. Now, what are the next steps to follow when it comes to immigrating to Canada, you understand, as a permanent resident? What are the next steps to follow if you still want to actually come into Canada but you don't know how to go about it? The first step is to identify, you understand, the right program. It's not all programs that are right for you. As I do always say, you don't need to focus on all the programs. Just have some selected few programs that you are focusing on. Have some selected few programs that you say, okay, these are the programs I want to be selected by. These are the programs I want to be much more eligible for. Because that's another thing. Some people will say they want to come into Canada, but they have not become fully eligible for any program. So at the end of the day, you are shooting your shot You understand? You are targeting, or you are shooting bullets, blank bullets, because you have not yet ascertained the one you want to focus on. You have not yet. Everybody is doing express entry does not mean that you are qualified for it. Everybody is focusing on something does not mean that is what you need to just, you understand, focus on. You need to be strategic enough to see that, okay, which of these programs can I actually look into? Which of these programs do I have the highest, you understand, qualifications for? Which one can I easily get selected on without, you understand, stressing myself on just going through all the programs that are out there. Now, two, after you have identified the right pathway, determining if your skills, your experience, and job offers align with the programs like AFIP, PMPs, or TFWP, you need to secure a job offer. If that is part of the program you selected, as I said, some PMPs don't require you to have a job offer. But if you choose like AFIP, you may need a job offer. If you choose like TFWP, you may need a job offer. So you have to use platforms like Job Bank. You understand? You have to look into platforms like Job Bank that you would use to get jobs. You understand? In Canada. Again, it is not all jobs that would give you what, that would help you for a particular program. You need to educate yourself that which of the jobs would benefit you to actually get a job offer. So if you go on the link jobbank.gc.ca/home, some people will always say, maybe I've tried to apply for jobs. How are you applying for jobs? That's another question. Is it that you are just shooting blanks? Because some people, the same CV they have for agriculture is the same CV they have for tech, is the same CV they have. Yes, you may have varied experiences, but how well are you targeting those jobs? Because yes, people are saying there are no jobs, there are no this, there are no, but of course, they are still picking people. The way they are laying off people, that's another thing I do always tell people. There are some people they are laying off, especially like in the STEM occupations. You understand, people, okay, in Canada, if you are watching the news, there are some people that are postal sales, postal workers, people that always send in post mails and everything. They are laying off some people, you understand, in like Canada Post, for instance. But similarly, I'm still hearing good news of people that they are still inviting to actually interview. I'm still hearing people that are getting jobs. How are people getting jobs? Have you also asked yourself that same question? You understand? You have to network, you have to socialize, you have to connect with, you understand, Canadian employers in the agriculture sector who are either LMIA compliant, having their labor market impact assessment report, you understand, or even if they are labor market exempt, you understand, LMIA exempt. So you have to look into the programs, you have to look into the platforms, you have to also LinkedIn, for instance. I would always talk about LinkedIn many times. There are so many times I get jobs on LinkedIn. You understand? I refer people to those jobs and just get the commission from that. Do you understand? Because why? You have to show your expertise in some of those platforms. Social media is not just for posting video and dancing and doing all those things. People are using social media to get jobs. You understand? I still talked about one person that we employed at A.O.S abroad that we got into social media platform. Do you understand? And this is someone that is not even in Canada. This is someone that is in Dubai. Do you understand? There's another person in Nigeria working for us without necessarily being in Canada. But people will be complaining there are no jobs, there are no this. But how well are you showing your expertise online? How well are you showing that you really want that job? It is not everybody that applies. In fact, many times when we put out vacancies, we see hundreds of people applying for a job, you understand, tens of people applying for jobs. But the people we select are people that we know that yes, they will not just be a waste of time. They really have what it takes and they are willing to work, not people that are just willing to get paid but not work for the money that they are looking for. So, three, you have to meet eligibility requirements. What's the eligibility requirement? This is another thing that restricts people from coming into Canada. Have you ensured that your language test results, you understand, is top notch? Do you understand? One of the best candidates we have actually worked with had 10, he maxed out his IELTS. You understand? Having like band 10 in all his points, CLB 10 in all his points, rather. Do you understand? And this is someone that you first look at that, because some people will complain that yes, IELTS is difficult. People are failing IELTS, they are doing this, they are doing that. How well have you practiced? How well have you trained examinations? And that brings us to our own point. AOS, at AOS abroad, we can train you to actually take IELTS, to take CLP or PT or any of the French exams like TEL for TCF Canada. Do you understand? In order to become qualified from some of these, you understand, programs. Educational credentials. Have you sent your credentials to West? It may not be West you use, maybe ICS or ICAP, anybody you use to evaluate your credential. Have you used them to evaluate it? Do you understand? Your work experience, does it align with the program that you want to get selected with? These are some of the salient informations you need to ask yourself to see that, are you well qualified? You just say you want to come into Canada. Are you well qualified for the programs that you want to come through? Do you understand? Now, leverage provincial pathways. It is very important. One of the things that people would always complain about is not being selected. But you may be focusing on the wrong programs at the wrong time. That's another thing. Focusing on the wrong programs at the wrong time will not get you selected. So research the PMPs in provinces with significant agricultural industries. It's not all provinces that have agriculture. It's not all provinces that they are actually, you understand, they are growing crops or they are processing foods. You have to look at those set of industries, those set of provinces that have industries that you can actually work in as an agricultural professional. So, for example, Saskatchewan is a very good province. Manitoba is a very good province that they are known for their robust farming sectors. So, if you want to get jobs, don't just go to even job bank alone. There are some particular job sites like Sax Jobs, the job site for Saskatchewan jobs that you can actually go to, you understand, in order to get jobs. Do you understand? If you go on Sax Jobs, you will see saxjobs.ca. Okay, I'll post that on the group. Saxjobs.ca. You can get jobs that are specific to just Saskatchewan alone. Do you understand? Jobs that are specific to just the agricultural sector alone. You understand? So with those kind of with those kind of industry specific and province specific job sites, you can have a higher chance of getting selected for a particular job than just shooting your shots in everywhere. You understand? So if you go to Saskatchewan job site, for instance, you can get selected by just applying strategically to the farming sector. As of today, in fact, I will still show it when we are done with this what they call it now, live session. As of today, there are about 400 plus jobs on the farming, you understand, sector. How many of those jobs have you applied to if you want to come into Canada as a worker? Do you understand? So be strategic in the way you are looking for jobs. Now, also prepare for permanent residence applications. It's very important. Some people will say they want to come in as a permanent resident, but they don't have the documentations to actually use to apply for PR. You can't just say you want something without working towards it. Work towards it. If you are eligible for programs like agri-food pilot programs or PMPs, begin by gathering your documents early. Don't take time to gather your documents. Don't be delaying your own process. You understand? Though police certificates, proof of funds, and reference letters may be on a later date, but start looking for a way to gather them so that it is not when you now need those documents, you don't have it and it's not going to be restricting you. Do you understand? Start to gather it right now so that before you actually get selected, you could have had those documents, or you're already in the process of perfecting and getting all the documents you require. Now, six, staying up to date on policy changes is very important. You have to monitor the federal and the provincial websites for updates on program renewals, program expansions, or cancellations. Now, people would always tell you many of the bad news online because, again, bad news sells. It sells. If there's no bad news, many people will not even come online. Some people feast on bad news. Do you understand? So that's why a lot of cancellations are out there right now. But we are still going to show you some program renewals, some renewals that they are doing currently in Canada, some expansions, how they are expanding on other programs that people may not have even heard of. Do you understand? And you not hearing of a program does not mean the program does not exist. It exists, but it's you that do not know about it. So you can still come into Canada by actually staying abreast of all those updates that you need on policy changes, you understand, towards Canada immigration. Now, conclusion: Canada's agriculture and agri-food sector remains a cornerstone of its economy. Some people don't know that Canada thrive on agriculture. Do you understand? Because every day we need food, we must eat food in Canada. And there are people, there are agriculturists that are actually in charge of making the foods we eat. So the sector offers lucrative opportunities for skilled workers and immigrants. There is no place in this country, in this world, that they are not retrenching workers or they are not sacking workers, especially when workers become redundant. And similarly, there is no place in this world, there is no country in this world that they are not recruiting people. But how well are you well connected? Are you networking well to actually get those jobs is the question. Whether through federal pathways like agriculture or agri-food pilots, or provincial streams such as the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program Farm Owner Category, immigrants have diverse options for building a future in Canada. So for aspiring migrants, the key is for you to be proactive. You need to be planning proactively. You need to be networking with employers. The truth about it is that you may network with 10 employers and you may not get job from them. But it may be the 11th employer you network with that will give you job. How have you even started to work? If that is what you want to actually get, you want to get a job, how are you networking with employers to get jobs? If it is that you want to come into Canada as a permanent resident, how are you keeping abreast of the changing policies and becoming much more eligible day by day in order to become prepared, so that when they are selecting, you are one of the first people that they select? That was what happened to us in the year 2022. People were complaining, Canada, they are not picking people. Okay, post-COVID, they are focusing on in Canada applicants. But when they started selecting people from outside, because we were already ready with our IELTS, already ready with our French result, with our ECA, with everything we needed, we were part of the first people they selected. So with the right steps, your journey to Canada can lead to not only financial or career success, but also a fulfilling life in one of still the most welcoming countries in the world. Canada is still whether people like it or not, they still show statistics of being the countries that are welcoming people the most. And it's not that they say, when we hear it, when people reach out to us, consult with us through platforms like, you understand, Zoom and everything, and we talk to people on social media, we see the things that happen in other countries, places like UK, people like places like Germany, places like Italy, and people still want to come into Canada from those countries. Do you understand? So it's not a matter of even only what they are saying on the in the media. People are still wanting to come into Canada. So what's your own next step? Share your thoughts and questions in the comments if you have any questions. And if you are ready, let's navigate this exciting pathway together. You understand? And if you're interested in more insights about Canada immigration, subscribe to our newsletter. You understand? And visit here for more tips, guides, and updates on the pathway to Canadian permanent residence. Now, that being said, sites like Search Job, let's go on Search Job and see for ourselves some of the jobs that are available. If it is jobs you are looking for, because some people were reaching out and saying, okay, how can I get jobs in Canada? Do you help people get jobs in Canada? We don't help people get jobs. But if you want to get jobs in Canada, how can you go about it? Do you understand? So going on Search Jobs, I'm focusing on the province side now. I'll still talk about the Canadian Job Bank. But focusing on the Search Jobs, how do you search for employers? How do you get jobs? How do you apply to jobs? Do you understand? Now, currently, today, they said there are 10,661 jobs posted in Saskatchewan today. Now, that shows that it's not everybody. Now, you have to understand something. Many a times I always look at the value of 1% or 10%. If we look at 1%, that means about 1,000 jobs are available. You understand? 1,000. If we look at 10%, 1,000 jobs are available to foreign workers. But again, sometimes I always look at it even much more lower than that. If we look at it as, okay, 1%, I'm not talking about 1,000, 1%, 100 jobs. 100 jobs are open to what? 100 jobs are open to international workers in this province. Because that's the way I think that, okay, let's look at the fact that Canadians will also get jobs, permanent residents will also get jobs in Saskatchewan, because of course the jobs that are listed are not only for temporary foreign workers. The jobs that are listed are not just only for people coming from outside Canada. They are from people coming from, you understand, Canada as well. So if we look at the occupations, in these tax jobs, we see that we have management, business, finance, and admin, engineers, architects, IT, natural sciences. So it's not compulsory, even though we are talking about agriculture-based jobs, you can still look for jobs in different sectors, in health, in social science, education and government, in arts, culture, recreation and sport, in sales and services, in trades, transport and construction, in oil, gas, mining and farming, in processing, manufacturing and utilities. We also have jobs by region, but let's focus on jobs based on occupations now. Let's click on the oil, gas, mining, and farming. We have about 4 different occupations there, but we'll now focus on the farming aspect of it now. Do you understand? Now, as of 7th December 2024, look at this. Saskatchewan job posted farm laborer job in Craven Riverside Gardens Incorporation, Craven location, 7th of December 2024, and there are 10 jobs available. So if, just like I said, the law of 10% or 1%, it shows that, okay, maybe like 1% out of someone coming from abroad will get that farm laborer job. Do you understand? How well are you crafting your CV to actually show that you can work as a farm laborer? You understand? In this post, let's click on this. You understand, to see the kind of job they are looking, the kind of people they are looking for to do those jobs. They said Carbon Riverside Gardens Incorporation, $15.60 per hour plus performance bonuses. So that means there are some bonuses for people that actually perform well on the job, right? Now, 07 December 2024, Craven, map number 10, the number of positions, 10 jobs. Okay, seasonal jobs, good, full-time and part-time. Now, look at this kind of job. When they say seasonal job, that means people that would do it are people that would work for a particular season from April 15, 2025 to December 15, 2025. So it may not be available for even some sect of foreign workers that don't want seasonal jobs, just like the programs that we have talked about. So, but of course, it requires just grade 10. Grade 10 is like secondary school certificate, no experience needed. You understand? Apply by 15th of March 2025. So within now and 15th of March 2025, you can apply, and you can apply online. You can apply in person if you're in Canada. If you're not, you can apply through mail, fax, resume, or email. And if you click on this link can say you should apply. What are the descriptions? Let's look at the descriptions. You can, they said, cut potato seed, weed cabbage, cauliflower, and potatoes using hoes. You understand? Thin cabbage, cauliflower by hand, move for irrigation pipe, and wheel lines through cabbage, cauliflower, potato and potatoes, carry 10 pounds to 50 pounds, cabbage sacks, cartons to weigh stations in fields, weigh and stack cabbage, cauliflower on pallets, cut cabbage or cauliflower using knives, pick depth off potato conveyors and harvesters, working up to 13 consecutive days during irrigation and harvest periods, sometimes 12 hours per day, stacking, storing, and palleting various packs of potatoes, visually sorting potatoes, working in a team environment, cleaning, sanitizing, packing, and harvest equipment, record keeping of all food safety SOPs, Monday through Saturday, available work day, 10 hours per day. So this is a particular job that if you have the experience, or if you are willing to do this job, because they even said that no experience required, if you are willing to do this job because it's like a manual job, you can, of course, apply online through their email, their contact email, riversidefarms@sasktel.net, and their phone number or their fax number, even the contact name, S. Hansen. You can reach out to them about actually getting the job. Now, this is a job that is seasonal, just like I said. So if you don't want seasonal jobs, or you don't want farm laborer jobs, maybe you want a managerial job, you understand, you can actually go back and check some of the other experiences. Like we have apiary worker, we have bee farm worker, Snow remover. Okay, this one is for shoveler, is not really agriculture, you understand, based. So if you look at all these jobs, look at apiary supervisor, for instance, or apiary technician. If you have um skills in that line, they say they are looking for two workers, you can click on it and see if you can actually get. Okay, look at the position. They say Saskatoon, 5th December, $18 to $22, understand, per hour. Middle Ridge Enterprise. Completed at least some secondary school, 3 to 5 years experience. You understand? Zero. There are some people, for instance, that have been reaching out to us that they say they have agricultural skills. You understand? They have been working as a supervisor before. So you can apply to this kind of jobs. Do you understand? A supervisory role, you understand, through their HR at sastrals.com. Do you understand? And you can even go on their website. Since you have known that, okay, HR and that kind of thing is what, you can go on their website to see the kind of people they are interested in hiring. Let's click on SAX jobs or SAX Trials jobs. You see Meadow Ridge Enterprise Limited, Scatras TM, Queens Produce Superior Workers. You can look at what they are doing. You understand? Try to see, okay, they are focused on these. You understand? They harvest maybe honey, for example. Look into what they are doing. You understand? Go through their website. Don't just apply for any job anyhow. Go through everything they are doing so that you are well knowledgeable that, okay, this is what they are doing. This is what they need people for. Do you understand? In Saskatchewan, for honey, you see, for honey production, for wintering abilities and resistance to mite and broad diseases. So, do you have experience in these kind of niches? Do you have experience in breeding? You understand the stocks? Do you have experience in how to actually help out in these kind of things? If you do, then you can talk about what they need. You understand, and what you have to offer their apiary. Do you understand? So go through some of their website. Don't just apply that, okay, because they have said that you apply, you just apply anyhow. Go through what is on their website. If you need help on drafting Canadian CVs, you can also go on our website, ftc.aosacademy.com. You understand? To learn how, through our career abroad online course, you can use to learn how to apply for jobs. You understand? And actually become much more eligible to actually apply to those jobs as they come. Okay, welcome, Mrs. Onuba from Lagos State, Nigeria. So you can go on our website, FTC, to actually get knowledge on how to apply to some of these jobs and how to create Canadian style resumes, how to even write cover letters to become much more, you understand, competitive in searching jobs, you understand, and becoming much more eligible for some of the agri-food or agriculture-based occupations or jobs. So that's for the Meadow Ridge Enterprise. Let's now go to, because now we have been talking about securing jobs in Saskatchewan or SAX jobs. There are a lot of jobs that you can go to. You understand? You can go to a lot of jobs. There are farm supervisor jobs, chicken catchers, poultry farm managers. There are quite a lot. And if you see all these stats, it shows that they are verified jobs. They are jobs that, yes, they are not just on Saskatchewan's job board, but they are also on what? They are also on the Canadian immigration website. Um, what they call it now. So let's go on the Job Bank, for instance. Job Bank Canada. Let's see Job Bank Canada's website too. We have seen Saskatchewan SARS jobs. Looking at this now, if you want to get jobs that are related to agric, firstly, you can type the job roles or the job titles on these keywords. You can type it here. If you don't want to type it here, you can go on browse or go on advanced. Well, let's first check browse. If you browse jobs, you can see the ones that are linked to agriculture. Do you understand? There are some that, they said the top search job titles. These are the top search jobs. Now, this is a way that you can use to know which are the jobs people are searching for, which are the jobs that are easier to get, which are the jobs that people are actually getting in Canada. Do you understand? So look through some of it. Top search jobs, in demand jobs. These are some of the in demand jobs that they are looking for people constantly. Now, I do tell, there was one person I was referring to that I said, oh, STEM occupations have closed for 2024. I said, yes, STEM occupations for category based permanent residents have closed, but that does not mean they are not in demand jobs. If you look at it, software developers and programmers, over 684 jobs are available for people to actually get in that niche. Do you understand? So it is not a matter of, oh, because a program stopped, you feel that that means Canada is already, you understand, holding back on his immigration. No, if there are still more people, the way immigration works is that if there are still more jobs for people to do in Canada, it shows that IRCC will still bring up a policy, they will still bring up what, they will still bring up a program or a pilot at least to actually entertain those kind of employees. And something I found out in Canada is that some people will say they don't have jobs, some people say they are struggling to get jobs, but the truth is they are not qualified for those jobs. It has happened to me. We have seen people that wanted to employ in Canada that they don't qualify for those jobs. They don't have what it takes to do those jobs. They'll just be a waste of time. So do you have what it takes to get those jobs? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. Do you have what it takes? There are some jobs that are LMIA specific. So if you click on this kind of LMIA, you click on it, it will show you jobs that have LMIAs, not the ones that don't have LMIAs. Do you understand? The ones that are already what? Are already having LMIAs positives. Do you understand? Positive LMIA rather. So now, jobs by categories. We have business finance, just like the way we saw it, health occupation management, just like the way we saw it in Saskatchewan jobs. We also have natural resources, agriculture, and related production occupations. You understand? Now, business is over 22,000. Agriculture and other natural resources over 1,464. Just so if you click on this kind of jobs now, if you click on that kind of one, you will see jobs that are particular to what? That are particular to agriculture. See harvesting, landscaping, and natural resources, supervisors in agriculture and natural resources. We have middle management occupations. We also have workers in natural resources agriculture. We also, if they even give you examples of some of those jobs. Now look at harvesting laborers, over 277 jobs. Look at managers in agriculture. Are you a manager in agriculture? If so, you can just click on these jobs and get the just 27 jobs that are focused on managers in agriculture. Are you a supervisor? You understand? Are you a supervisor in agriculture? 159 jobs are available that you can apply to. Do you understand? These are the ways you can focus on a particular niche and apply. There's nothing wrong in trying. I remember when we were coming, when we tried to look for jobs, even though I, for instance, didn't later get jobs for my own self, I got jobs for other people. I didn't get jobs for myself. Well, because I didn't want to work though, because of course, that time I was doing my own business. But at the end of the day, you will see that some people are still getting jobs as other people are complaining that they don't get jobs. If you have what it takes, if you are someone that they need, you understand, if you have the experience that they are looking for, why not? They would actually select you. Do you understand? So look at all these jobs. Okay, managers in agriculture, like 27 jobs. Let's look at that for instance. What are some of the managers in agriculture? Now look at this. They said, number one, these are new jobs. They were posted December 6, 2024. They are on-site jobs. That means once they are on-site, you should know that they will be close to like full-time jobs. They are direct apply. You can apply directly on the Canadian immigration website. They are green jobs. When you say green jobs, you understand, jobs that are helping the society. Posted on Job Bank. They were posted directly by the employer. It was posted by the employer. It was not posted by one other, what they call it, maybe job recruiter or anything. It was posted by the employer. Do you understand? On the Job Bank. So if you click on this first one now, Kinetic Farms at Chilliwack, British Columbia, you can see jobs that are related to farm managers. Do you understand? Posted just yesterday, 20 December 20, December 6th. So how early did you apply, for instance? Because sometimes you may apply early and get that very good opportunity to actually apply $24 to 24.50 hourly and 40 hours per week. This is a permanent employment, full-time employment. This is a very good job for someone that actually wants. And look at it, it said English, your education, even though as a manager, you just need secondary school graduation certificate. Experience is an asset. Look at that. See what they said. The more experience you have, the better. Experience is an asset in this kind of job. You understand? Work must be completed at the physical location. There is no option to work remotely. You understand? It stated that this employer is going because it involves tasks and responsibility contributing to positive environmental outcomes and helping Canada achieve its net zero target. Responsibilities: maintain farm machinery, equipment, buildings, manage overall operation of farm, perform general farm duties, recruit, hire and supervise staff and or volunteers. You understand? So look at this: specialization or experience, green economy, you understand, specialized environmental skills and knowledge, work conditions, attention to details. If you look at this, this is things that not even require you to have bachelors, it not require you to have masters, it not require you to, you understand. So if you, how can you apply? Who can apply? They said the employer accepts applications from Canadian citizens and permanent residents or temporary residents of Canada. Other applicants with or without, now see this is very important. They say with or without. If you have a valid Canadian job offer, fine, or work permit rather, fine. If you don't have at all, you don't have anything, you understand, you can still apply. Show how to apply. How would you apply? They say apply directly on job bank or apply through the email alwaysbloomingfarm@gmail.com, and the advert is advertised up until 1st of what? April. I mean 1st of May 2025, or is it 1st of May or 5th of January? But at least you have it now, so you can quickly apply and see if you have the opportunity to become a farm manager in the Kinetic Farms Incorporation. So these are ways to actually get to see how well you qualify and the kind of jobs you can get to work in Canada. So if you are someone that you are looking for jobs, you want to leave your home country and migrate to Canada through this job offers, you can always get those kind of job offers on the job bank website. And if you don't want to get jobs but you want to focus on programs centered on permanent residence, we have given you the requirements that you need on the link. Do you understand? The newsletter article, to actually show that yes, if you want to come in as an agriculture professional, then you can actually go on that link and start working on your on your eligibility to come into Canada as as an agricultural expert. So thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions before we actually call it a day today? Do you have any questions at all? If you have any questions, drop it on the comment section. Even after this session, we would always take your questions and respond to it as they actually come on. And thank you everyone for joining. Really do appreciate you. Thank you very one for everyone for being here. So if we don't have any questions, then we'll call it a day. And you can always reach out to us later on through platforms to actually learn more about what to do for either this category or any other category that you want to actually start up. So thank you very much and have a nice day ahead. Bye for now.